Before this video starts, I just want to give a little disclaimer. This list is my own personal opinion. If you disagree with me, that's fine. Let me know if you want, but don't post any hate comments or I'll be forced to delete your comment or even block you if I have to. Hey guys, what is up? It's me here, JPineapple, and I'm back again for another video, and this time we're going to be doing the top 10 Marvel Legends of 2017, guys. This year has just been really good for Marvel Legends. There's been a lot of figures coming out. They've all been really good, really honestly. Marvel Legends have really been on a roll this year. They've been doing really well, especially with their movie figures, but their comic figures as well have gotten dramatically better. They've gotten drastically better, and I've been really pleased with a lot of Marvel Legends. This list was very hard for me to make. So if you guys, I know a lot of you guys will disagree with me on my list, and that's fine. Let me know in the comments below. As I said in my disclaimer, you know, I don't want any hate comments. So this video is my own personal opinion. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. By the way, guys, none of these figures are actually on the list at all, really. These are just some cool figures. None of these are really on the list. Drax is cool, you know, he's actually really cool, but he's really just mostly a reuse. Moon Knight, he's a cool figure. The boots are a little weird and a little bit fiddly, but I do like the articulation on this figure, and he does look cool. The Star-Lord figure looks great. Both versions are great, so if you can get any one of those, they're pretty cool too. The Shocker over here is actually a really surprise for me. It was a nice figure. These aren't even my honorable mentions, to be honest, guys. These are actually just cool figures in general. So yeah, the Spider UK is cool too. I think this figure's just mostly really sucks with the double jointed knees. These double jointed knees don't really work that well. So yeah, that's the thing that's really keeping me down from really liking this figure. This Mary Jane figure is honestly one of the best civilian figures that Hasbro could have done. I think this is actually a really nice figure, but this figure did not make the list, so yeah. Also, this Rocket Raccoon is really well done as well, and the Symbiote Spider-Man, for me, honestly, it was very hard not to put him on the list, but yeah, he didn't make the list. And Cyclops right here is a nice figure too. This is actually a really good figure, really well executed figure. This is the Bucky Cat body mold, but they really actually did make it really cool, and they actually put some really nice paint around it, made some nice paint shading, and made this figure actually pretty cool. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into our honorable mentions, and then we'll get into the actual list itself, guys. So first up here on the list of honorable mentions is Old Man Logan, or the Wolverine from the Warlock Build-A-Figure wave. This figure is just really awesome. I really dig this figure a lot. The head sculpt is amazing. The articulation is great. It's just overall a really nice Wolverine figure. They really executed this figure very well, and I love Hasbro for making this figure. Wolverine's one of my favorite characters of all time, and this figure is definitely one that will not disappoint you if you pick this figure up. Also, it was one of the first figures to include a swivel at the ankle, as well as the hinge and pivot, so I really appreciate Hasbro for doing that, and they really should do swivels at the ankle and a hinge and pivot way more often, because that really does work out very well, and I really like it. And it also doesn't take away from the sculpts, so I think Hasbro should go towards that route more often. And yeah, overall, this is just a really awesome figure. The jacket is also very well sculpted, as well as everything else on the figure, as well as these claws are cool too, actually. So yeah, you can still remove these. So yeah, this is not an actual review, but yeah, this is overall just a nice figure. So let's get on to the next figure here on the list. So another honorable mention here is Jackal. It is actually a really nice figure, this Jackal piece. But the thing that really lets this figure down for me, honestly, is the paint apps. They don't look good, honestly. I don't know what Hasbro was thinking. It really doesn't really look that good, honestly. It doesn't really look like the sculpt work is really good, but the paint apps do let it down. So that's why it really didn't get on the list. I reckon this figure could have gotten at least a spot in the 9th or 10th spot if it just didn't have those problems, but it does, so that's why it's not on the list. Another really honorable mention is Sunfire here, guys. This is a nice figure, actually. I really do like this figure. This was really hard for me not to put this figure on the list especially, because this figure for me was just a really dope figure. But the reason why I didn't make the list is because it's mostly just a reuse of that Spider-Man 2099 body mold. And it's mostly just has a lot of paint on it, and the paint sometimes it's a little fuzzy over here. But overall, guys, this is a really nice figure, and it was very hard for me not to put this on the list, but I had to really put it on the honorable mentions at least because it's a dope figure, but it didn't make the list because it's mostly just a reuse, so yeah. Alright, now here's where I think some of you are going to disagree with me, but I think Colossus deserves an honorable mention because, to me, I don't really care much for Colossus. I think Colossus is a dope character, but the figure itself is still really nice, but it's just not enough for me to really put it on the list. But I can understand if this figure will have a lot of sentimental value to a lot of people. And yeah, for me, honestly, if they went with the classic costume, this figure would definitely be up more on the list. But for me, this figure takes at least an honorable mention because it's just a dope figure, guys. It's really big, it's huge, it's a brand new body mold, it looks great. Paint-ups are actually really great. He did come with an extra head sculpt as well, I just don't have it around me. Yeah, this figure deserves at least an honorable mention in my list, so Colossus is an honorable mention right here. And here's the final honorable mention, and it is Green Goblin. Now guys, the reason why this figure is an honorable mention is because this figure to me feels like it's much of the same thing from the Hobgoblin figure that I got like a year ago. This feels a lot like that, but at the same time, I've wanted a Green Goblin figure for so long, and I think this is just a dope piece in general. I think this body mold looks great in green. It's a good reuse though, and I really do like the fact that his glider is much bigger. As well, the pumpkin bomb looks great too, and the head sculpt is just absolutely fantastic. So this figure deserved at least an honorable mention for me. So yeah, let's get right into the actual list itself now, guys. Number 10. Alright guys, the number 10 figure on my list is the all new, all different Spider-Man. This figure, guys, I don't know what it is. I know guys, you guys will probably be like, what? Why is the new Spider-Man on your list? We already have a Pizza Spidey, but guys, to me, this figure was just absolutely amazing. I love the figure. I never had the chance to get the Pizza Spider-Man because when I was into Marvel Legends, when that figure came out, I was basically just getting into Marvel Legends, and I never found it in stores. So yeah, to get this figure finally is like getting the Pizza Spider-Man to me, and this figure is just absolutely phenomenal. I love it. I even think this figure is still really nice regardless of if it's not the Pizza Spider-Man or not, because the cobwebbing pattern just looks really great. I just think this figure looks really nice, and I really do dig the symbol here, and I actually kind of like the fact that they used the Superior Spider-Man head on this figure. They also did include the Peter Parker head sculpt, and that's something to not miss out on, is the Peter Parker head sculpt that they included with this set. So yeah, to me, this Spider-Man deserves a spot on the list, so the all new, all different Spider-Man takes number 10. Number 9. Alright guys, so for number 9, we are going to put Miss Marvel on number 9. And I just really dig this figure, guys. I don't know what it is. I was genuinely surprised when I got this figure. I was like, hey, this figure is actually really dope. Because the elongated arm, really the only thing is that the arms here, these new arms here, they don't have any hinges or swivels on them. But besides that, this figure is almost darn near perfect. Like, for a teenage female body molded figure, this figure is really nice. It just stands out on the shelf, and it just looks really dope. So that's why this figure takes number 9 on the list. And as well, guys, the head sculpt just looks great. So there you go. Number 9 is Miss Marvel Kamala Khan. Number 8. So for the number 8 spot on my list, I am going to be putting Ego, the movie Ego. Guys, this figure is really, really dope. I really like this figure. It deserves number 8 for me because it really is just a cool figure. They really put a lot of detail and they put a lot of effort into this figure, and I think this figure is not recognized enough. I think this is more of a really underrated figure because it really deserves much more recognition than it actually gets, because it has been really put a lot of sculpt work, lots of great paint work going into this figure. The alternate head sculpt really doesn't look like much, but to be honest, guys, I use that mostly it's like in case like you lose one head or something, like, you know, you can pop that head on and it kind of looks like the same thing. So yeah, it's kind of like a spare head in a way. But to be honest, guys, this figure is just a great piece, like, you know, and there's not really much things you can really do with this figure, but it just looks great. It's really unique, guys. Like that's why it takes number 8, because it's just such a unique figure. And I really did like Kurt Russell's performance as Ego in the movie. So yeah, that's why Ego from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 takes number 8.
Number 7.
Alright guys, so for number 7, we are going to be putting Ares on the list, and I could not make a top 10 list without including this Ares figure. Like, this is probably one of the best single-carded releases that Hasbro has done, and really, this figure is just a great piece. Like, you know, they did fix the ankle issue. You know, there's not really much that I can complain about on this figure. It's a really nice, really dope and buff piece. I really dig it. You can take off the helmet. The head sculpt looks pretty good. I find myself actually switching out this head sculpt with the original one and then putting the helmet back on that. But yeah, and this is the original back piece, so you can take pieces off of the figure, so you guys can see. You can take that off, you can take the torso piece off and stuff like that. So yeah, you're not going to break your figure at all by doing that. So yeah, this is just a really dope piece. It just looks great. The deco looks good. I really dig it. So Ares takes number 7 for just being a badass. So there you go.
Number 6.
Alright guys, for number 6, I'm going to be putting Spider-Man 2099 at number 6, because this guy has probably one of the best male body molds Hasbro has ever done. They really made it really well, and I honestly think that this body mold should be the replacement for the Bucky Cap body. It's just great. You know, this figure has the armpit joint, it has the ab crunch, it has an ankle rocket. It's just a great body mold, and this figure is just a great piece. They have really nice paint. You know, this paint, I wish they used this metallic paint for their Iron Man figures and stuff like that. This figure just looks great, guys. I cannot say how much I love this piece, because I love it. I love it! And I really do dig this armor plating here, this piece on the side here. So, yeah, a really dope figure from Hasbro right here. So, Spider-Man 2099 takes number 6.
Number 5.
So, coming in at number 5 is the MCU Netflix Daredevil. Guys, I could not gush enough of how much I love this piece. This is just a dope piece, really dope. It just looks great. I love the amount of texturing throughout this piece, guys. And honestly, people were complaining about the head sculpt, but for me, guys, does that not look dope and dead on for the Netflix series? I don't know what the heck people are on about, because I love this head sculpt. They actually captured the likeness very well. I just dig it overall. I really like this piece, guys. I cannot say how much I like it. And of course, it always impresses me when they add a swivel and a pivot and a hinge. Damn. And it's just so flawless. You know, it's not flawless. No figure is flawless. So let's just point out one thing that I don't like about the figure is that the shoulder joints like scratch up a bit. But that's it. That's it. The piece just looks great overall besides that. You know, it just, oh my gosh, I can't say how much I love this figure. Netflix Daredevil takes number 5, so there you go. Woof.
Number 4.
So coming in at number 4 is Gamora, and guys, this Gamora is just absolutely dope. Look at that head sculpt. Let's just take a moment to admire how much this looks like Zoe Saldana. Like, honestly, guys, this figure just absolutely blew me away. And it was the debut of Hasbro's digital tech printing, and they absolutely smashed it. This just looks just like Zoe Saldana. I absolutely adore this figure. The sword looks great. She did also have a deployed sword, which I never display on this figure because this figure just looks dope with the sword. And she also came with like a big gun thing that I actually use for Drax. And yeah, the only problem with this figure is that the ankle pivot does not work that well. But besides that, the figure just looks great. The paint-ups are amazing. The head sculpt is absolutely phenomenal. I love this figure, guys. This figure deserves its number 4 spot on my list.
NumberThree.
Guys, you guys knew I was gonna put this figure on the list. Honestly, guys, I cannot make a top 10 Marvel Legends of 2017 without putting Dark Phoenix on the list. Guys, this figure is so dope. This figure is just the perfect example of what Hasbro can do with their comic figures. This is absolutely phenomenal. The shading looks great. The Phoenix symbol on the chest looks great. The overall figure aesthetic looks great, and it looks so comic accurate. The head sculpt is absolutely phenomenal. I love it. The hair is translucent. It looks amazing. I'm going to just gush all over these figures because why not? This is the top 10 Marvel Legends of 2017, guys, and these figures are absolutely phenomenal. So, number 3 spot goes to the much-deserved Dark Phoenix. Oh, and by the way, she also came in 2 extra head sculpts. One was basically a powered-down Dark Phoenix head sculpt, and then one was also one for replacing the terrible Jean Grey head sculpt from the Juggernaut wave. So, yeah, the number 3 spot goes to the Dark Phoenix.
Number 2.
I love this figure, guys. Hella gets the number 2 place on my list, just shy of that number 1 place. And honestly, the number 1 and number 2 could possibly be switched, but I don't know, guys. Honestly, this is the best movie figure Hasbro has done for so long. This Hella figure just looks absolutely amazing. It looks hella sick. Alright, Sharnum's Prime quotes, by the way, guys. You guys know that. Alright, so the metallic paint looks great. The articulation is pretty darn good, and this head sculpt looks amazing. Also, guys, I'm going to show you guys the second head sculpt, so we can just pop this head off, and we can just pop on the Cate Blanchett head sculpt, and guys, doesn't that look just like Cate Blanchett? Honestly, it does. It looks great. It has these like vein type things looking there as well. It just looks great. The only problem I have is when you pop on the other head sculpt, guys, this head sort of fits too high on the pegs, so at some angles it just looks very weird. So you do have to actually position the head in a certain way where it doesn't look weird. But besides that, guys, this figure is darn near perfect. It basically is, and it deserves the number 2 spot on my list because Hella is just amazing. So Hella gets the number 2 place on my list.
Number 1.
Number 1, guys! Boom! We are here at number 1, and as you guys can see, the number 1 figure of 2017 for me is Angela. No other figure this year has topped Angela. This figure is just loaded with paint apps. This is absolutely one of the best female figures ever done in Marvel Legends history, guys. I am not even kidding you. This figure is that good. Look at the gauntlets on this side here. Look, this figure is sexy as hell, and this figure is just an absolute badass. The Asgardians have just been killing it this year. Has been killing it with the Asgardians this year. It just looks absolutely awesome. The head sculpt looks great. The paint-ups are spot on. Man, oh man, no other figure can ever possibly top Angela this year for me. This figure is just amazing. The hair sculpt, wow, it's just awesome. You can just take these 2 things off, and then you can just grab the sword right out of the sheath, and boom, you can pop it right here. Wow, doesn't this figure just look great, guys? Wow, the articulation is great. I don't even know what to say that's wrong with this figure. Double jointed elbows? Maybe. Heck, we're not getting that on a female figure, so let's just stop complaining. Dang, guys, this figure is awesome. So number 1 goes to Angela. And that is my list for the top 10 Marvel Legends of 2017. Angela gets number 1. Number 2 goes to Hela. Number 3 goes to... Hold on, guys, I need to get out my list. Number 3 goes to the Dark Phoenix. Number 4 goes to Gamora. Number 5 goes to Daredevil. Number 6 goes to Spider-Man 2099. Number 8... Oh, wait, what? Yeah, number 7 goes to Ares. Number 8 goes to Ego. Number 9 goes to Miss Marvel Kamala Khan. And lastly, number 10 goes to the Spider-Man, all new, all different Spidey. So, there you go, guys. That's my list for top 10 figs of 2017. Boom, boom. These figures are going to be thrown because I could honestly care less. No, I'm joking, guys. I love these figures, honestly, and Marvel Legends have just been great this year for me. So, yeah, let's just focus on the number 1 figure of the year, which is Angela. So, yeah, there you go, guys. Angela is my number 1 top 10 fig of 2017. And I honestly don't think any Hasbro can really make a female figure as good as this. So, if they can, I think Hela may be the only female figure to really rival Hela, but this year, Hela takes the cake for number 1. So, yeah, that's my top 10 list, guys. As I said before, this is my own personal opinion, so you guys are allowed to disagree with me. So comment below your list is what I want you to do. I want you to comment below your list of your favorite Marvel Legends of 2017. And yeah, if you haven't already, hit like and hit subscribe. That would be so awesome to me, guys. This year has just been really awesome for YouTube, so I have to say thank you guys so much for the support lately. So, yeah. I could not really do these videos without you guys and your guys' help and your support. So thank you guys so much for watching my videos. So yeah, that's it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. If you guys did, as I said before, comment below, hit like, hit subscribe, and until next time, it is JPineapple signing out. Peace. Boom. I could not miss out on including this thing. The articulation is great.